Hey Divi Nation, thank you for joining us in this live stream, and today I will be showing you how to create Slidein CTAs using Divi's cleaning company layout pack. If you haven't checked that out yet, make sure that you do. I've mentioned a link in the description below, and if you're not an Elegant Themes member yet, make sure that you check out Divi as well. I've mentioned a link to the product page where you can go ahead and discover Divi for yourself. So without any further ado, let's get to it. All right, so let's take a look at the cleaning company layout pack. So this is the landing page, and what we're going to create today is Slidein CTA. So I'll show you what the end result is, what the outcome is right away. So this is the overall look and feel that you can expect. It's very clean, very modern as well. It has high quality images included, which you can use without any restrictions on your website. And let's take a look at the outcome. All right, so here we have the outcome. So we have the CTA sliding in, then we have this one as well, and last but not least, we'll also recreate the following one, as you can see over here. So the first thing you will need to do is upload the cleaning company landing page, and to do that, you can simply go to your WordPress website and add a new page and choose it from the pre-made library. But I'm not going to show that. We've done it many times before, so it's pretty easy to do just to set it up. So I have it over here. So we have this landing page, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the visual builder at the top. All right, so now we're going to get rid of all the animation that is going on the page, and we're going to do that so the main focus will be on the CTAs. So to do that, we're simply going to select one of the elements on the page that already has an animation, and in this case, this section does have one. So if I open these settings over here and go to the animation settings, I will see that there's an animation style, and I'm just going to select none over here. So I'm going to remove it all away. And then I'm going to right click and click on extend animation styles. And this will just help me to get rid of all of the animations on this layout, on this page, without actually having to do it manually for each one of the elements that are on this page. So I'm going to apply it to all of the sections first, and I'm going to do that throughout the entire page. So I'm just going to click on extend. All right, and then I'll go back to the animations over here, and I'm also going to make this apply to all of the rows and modules. So I'm going to repeat this step twice, and I'm just going to select rows over here, and I'm going to make it happen throughout the entire page. And last time as well, I'm going to make it apply to all the modules. So now nothing on this page has a custom animation going on. I think the blurb icons do have like a slightly animated, but not something that will, pull away the attention from the Slidein CTA. So, all right, let's start creating the first one. So let me just show you once again where we can find the first one. So this is the first one that we're going to create, and afterwards we're going to use it to create the second one as well, and the third one while making some modifications to it. So let's start with this one over here, and to do that we're going to add a new row. And I'll just show you where to add one. So you can place these Slidein CTAs wherever you want to, but we're just going to recreate the exact outcome. So I'm going to add a row with one column right here. And without adding any modules yet, I'm going to open the row settings, go to the alignment settings over here, and I'm going to push this row to the left side of the screen. So this will allow us to have this sliding in effect. So if it's in the middle of the page, the effect will be perhaps too overwhelming, and we just want to have them at the side. So the left or the right side, we have both of them. So this one is on the left, and this one is on the right side. So we're going to choose left row alignment for this first one over here. Then we'll go to the sizing settings and we're going to use custom width. So we'll just use 500 pixels. And then we'll also go to the spacing settings over here and we're going to remove all of the custom padding that is already there by adding 0 pixels to the top and bottom padding. And this will just help us reduce the space that we're creating with this Slidein CTA. So we don't want too much white space between the previous row and the next section over here. And that's why we're removing all of the unnecessary custom padding. In this case, it's unnecessary. And yeah. So now we can start adding the modules. So actually we'll just need one module. You can choose how many modules you want to make it apply to this Slidein CTA, but we're just going to use a call to action module over here. And we're going to give it some custom content, and I'm going to copy it really quick for you guys so I don't have to type it all over. All right, so we're going to give it a title over here. We're going to reduce the content here as well. And we're going to change the button text a bit as well. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a link. So as you can see over here, there's no button yet. And the reason why there's no button is because there hasn't been a link to it yet. So if you want the button to show up, you should definitely add something over here. Even if you don't have a link yet, you can just enter anything you want and the button will show up. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the background color. So it has a default background color over here, and you can disable it by disabling this option over here, use background color, and just say no. And then we're going to use a gradient background, but to save ourselves some time, we're going to reuse one of this layout, and it will assure that it matches the layout pack as well. So I'll just open the section settings over here, and I'm just going to right click on the gradient option over here, and I'm going to copy the background gradient. Then I'll go back to my call to action module and open it, go to the background settings, and I'm just going to paste it. All right, that was quick. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to modify the title text settings, and we're going to use the following font, Ubuntu. This matches the layout pack as well. So, feel free to play around with all of these settings just to make it look exactly the way you want to. You can use this approach for other kinds of websites as well. I'm just showcasing it on the cleaning company layout pack, but you can use this for any kind of website you want, and you can play around with all of the options just to make it look exactly the way you want to. So we're also going to change the title text size, and we're going to make that match with the different screen sizes. So 24 pixels for desktop and tablet as well. And we're going to give 16 pixels to the mobile view, and then we'll also change the title line height to 1.2. This will just create some space between the title and the body. And then we'll open the body text settings as well, and we'll just use a semi-bold body font white. Then we'll go to the button settings over here, and we're going to enable the use custom styles for button option. And we're going to change the text size. We'll make it a little smaller. And then we'll change the button text color as well. So you can find all of these color codes. If you want to create the same exact result, you can find all of the color codes and all of the steps in the blog post, which I've mentioned in the description below. So over there, you can see everything step by step. Then we'll add 10 pixels to the border width. And we're going to use a white border color here as well. And we're going to remove all of the button border radius. We're going to use Ubuntu for the bottom font, and we're using a bold font weight. All right, so there we go. And then we'll give this call to action module some space to breathe by adding custom padding. And we're going to use the following values, so 80 pixels for the top and the bottom padding, and then we'll use 50 pixels for the left and the right side. I'll just link this to the bottom as well. And then we'll go to the border settings, and we're going to add some border radius to the top right and the bottom right. We'll use 100 pixels. So I'm going to get rid of these two over here. And then we'll also use some box shadow. So I'll go to the box shadow options over here. And I'm going to modify the blur strength. So this will give it a little bit more depth as well. And it will just allow your Slidein CTAs to show up your page and grab the attention of your visitors. And last but not least, we're going to add the animation as well. So the one that we're using for this example is the zoom one. And to make sure that we have the sliding kind of effect, we're going to choose right as the animation direction. Then we'll also increase the intensity to 100% and the starting opacity to 100% as well. And over here you can choose the animation speed curve, and I'm going to choose linear. All right, so we have the first one. Let me just show you what it looks like once you reload the page, and then we'll continue to the two remaining examples as well. So this is the result that we have. This is the first Slidein CTA, and you can also play around with the custom margin as well if you want to reduce the space that's being taken up even more. So I'll just show you what I mean. If you want to make it overlap the previous image that was used in the previous row, you can always add some negative top margin. But make sure that you remove that for tablet and phone, just so you have an accurate result going on there. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is the following one. Let me just refresh the screen, the page. This is the second one that we'll create, and to do that, we're going to clone this entire row and reuse it. So I'm just going to place it right where I want it, and that's at the beginning of this section over here. And then I'm going to remove the top padding. You can just open the settings, or you can drag away all of the padding there. And then I'm going to open the section settings, go to the border settings, and we have this radius going on over here, and I'm going to remove it. So I'll just unlink all of these borders first, and then I'm going to add 0 to the top left corner. Then I'll open the call to action module, and I'm also going to remove the top right border radius over here, just to make it blend in with the section like that. And then I'm also going to change the animation. And this time I'm using bounce. I'm going to make it bounce in the center, and I'm going to make sure that the starting opacity is 100% and I'm keeping the animation speed curve the way it is. All right, so now we have the second one. So we just needed to make some small modifications and we already have another one. Again, let me show you what it looks like once you reload the page. First one, here we have the second one, and let's move on to the last one, which is the following one that we have over here. So we're going to reuse the first CTA row. We'll just make modifications to it. We're going to place it right at the bottom of this section over here. So not the last section, this section over here, and place it at the bottom, and then open the row settings. And this time we're going to align it to the right side. So we'll choose right row alignments. And I'm going to remove the CTA background, gradient backgrounds, and I'll use a color instead. So I'm going to enable this, use background color option, and I'm going to use the following color code, which matches the layout pack. And I'm going to use this color for my button as well. So go to the button settings and change the color. And we'll also remove the border radius. So we have a square going on. Yeah, a square. And the last thing we'll need to do for this CTA is change the animation, and we're going to use the slide option over here. We're going to make it slide down. We'll use 100% for the animation intensity and 100% for the starting opacity and linear for the speed curve. And the last thing we're going to do is remove all of the bottom padding over here to make the CTA and the next section collide. And then I'm going to save the page and reload it to show this last example. So here we have the first one, the second one, and this is the last one. So you can actually create a lot of variations with Divi's built-in options. These are 3 examples that you can use right away and follow step by step by rewatching this live stream tutorial or by going to the blog post, which you can find in the description below. But feel free to experiment with all of the different options and create your own sliding in CTAs. Well, that was all for this live stream. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and we hope that you're enjoying this ongoing Divi design initiative where we try to put something extra into your design toolbox each and every week. If you like all of the content that we're bringing to you and you feel like you can contribute yourself to the Divi community, share all of your skills and knowledge, make sure that you check out one of the links in the description below and find out how you can contribute to the Elegant Themes blog. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video or a live stream.